So if you're driving around Michigan, Ohio, or Connecticut, and you break down, and you have to stop and get out of your car to try to repair it, you might not make it back in your car. There are small creatures with big bulbous heads that may come out of the woodwork and drag you into the woods and eat you. And what do the locals call these creatures? Melon Heads. I think if I was being eaten by something called a melon head, I'm not entirely sure I could keep a straight face. So, a melon head, in the case of these 3 states, is, well, actually it's kind of different for each state. And I'm going to look down because I've got my iPad because my memory's garbage. In Michigan, essentially the legend has it that they were children that were being abused due to being born with hydrocephalic heads. That's a condition in which the head brings on a lot of fluid. I'm not a doctor, so I'm bringing this part from memory, and kind of cause it to be enlarged. I believe it's fairly easily treatable nowadays, but back in the day, you just kind of had to exist that way, and it wasn't pleasant in the least. So I'm not making fun of these children. But the legend has it they were mistreated and abused, and eventually escaped out into the woods, where they became feral and would attack people, and now it's their ghosts they're doing it. Then you go over to Ohio. Similar story, except for in Ohio, it's a crazy doctor named Dr. Crow, spelling differs from different tellings, who experimented on these children until they turned on him, murdering him, hiding different pieces of his body amongst his facilities, and escaped out into the woods. Their ghosts apparently haunt the facilities they were being kept in, as well as the woods. And then you get to, is it Michigan? Connecticut. Bad memory. But then we get over here to Connecticut. Now in Connecticut, it's very a little different in the way that I'm from the South, so this actually tickles me just a little bit. In Connecticut, a bunch of insane lunatics escape. Teenagers and adults. They live out in the woods and they hide out in the woods. And they become incestuous, which this story takes place, like, how many generations does it take for you to become incestuous? I mean, I guess it depends on how many lunatics escaped, I guess, and how many were male and how many were female. But either way, they became incestuous. So the melon heads, in this case, are their children who were born deformed due to being incestual, inbred. And they will pretty much eat you as well. So, why am I talking about this? I was researching on a haunted road, and which led me to another road called Dracula Road. And you'd think, wow, why don't you drop everything and do a video on Dracula Road? Because I saw the word melon head and found out it was a creature called a melon head. How do you not do a video on a melon head? So there you have it. If you're in any one of those states and you break down, try not to giggle as you're being pulled into the woods and devoured by a melon head.